Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video has been on my mind to do it for already quite a few weeks. I think the time has come for us to do some slight changes in our challenge, and because of all the developments that went on during the challenge, and in order to keep this challenge honest, and also to keep providing you with a real picture of how it is to trade options and make money with option strategies, and specifically in the case of this challenge with the wheel strategy. And so I decided that some changes were needed because of course the audience needs to know to the most accurate degree as possible to see that some things may have been some of the things that I've done have been drifting away a bit from our initial strategy. And so that's why I think these changes must be, first of all, disclosed to you guys, and then pursued, so that we keep all the transparency when it comes to this challenge, and also to make it to allow anyone else who wishes to do the same to do it without second guessing what the person himself or herself has done in comparison with I've been showing to you guys in this content. So first of all, just as a reminder, the initial promise, or the initial rules of this challenge was basically were that starting with a roughly 100k account, we would try to achieve 200k in our account, right? So this was, and of course starting with this 100k account, we would try to reach 200k, and we would be using solely the wheel strategy, and this means, of course, selling puts until they are assigned, and then selling calls using the assigned shares until they are sold to the call buyer, right? So these were the initial rules, and as you were able to notice over the last few weeks, due to the market developments and also through other actions on my own, this challenge took a bit of a different route, because as you can see, and showing my account, as you can see, we are already over the $200,000 mark, all right? And we need to remain as honest as possible, in the sense that, all right, much of this money or much of these funds that we have were deposits that I did, and not actually profits. I also downloaded, for disclosure, my account statement, and this is the activity statement rather, and this is from yesterday, at the time of writing this video, is because we are recording this on December the 26th. This is the activity statement from the previous day, December 25th, and the market was closed back then. And as you can see here, even though we have already over $200,000 in our account, you can see that our realized profit, all right, year to date so far, all right, is only a little bit over 25,000, all right, $25,000. And so because of that, I decided that we need to adjust the rules a little bit. And since our purpose was to double our account and basically made $100K out of our 100K initial capital, we need to adjust our objective. And so the new goal, and I'm going to put this bold to make it very clear, the new goal is to reach 100K in realized returns all time, all right. And of course, because we will be pursuing the wheel strategy for the most part, we can consider that most of these realized returns will come from options trading. And so this is probably the most important detail, or the most important change in this challenge, in order for us, of course, once again, to keep everything transparent and honest, because it would not be correct to assume that the challenge is now completed, now that we reached $200K, and when in fact most of these funds were actually deposits on my side, right? And another thing is that, as you probably noticed, and because I spoke about it extensively, we used in many occasions up until this point, we bought shares directly, all right, and then we sold them outright. So we did not use any options, all right. And of course this goes against the initial strategy, in which we would only be able to sell puts to buy shares and then sell calls to sell the shares. But as you can imagine, on many occasions this is not feasible in order for us to reach our objectives, because when we need to use or to buy additional shares in order to lower our cost basis and then sell them directly when they reach the price we want, because we cannot afford to wait any longer for a call to be sold, to be assigned, or put to be assigned. This is something that we really have to do. And so even though this goes against our initial strategy, we'll have to adjust our rule here and say that, all right, by default, we will have to use the wheel strategy, right, which consists of what I just explained above in the first bullet. But in order for us to dispose of, and I'm going to put this on quote unquote, problematic holdings, and I can talk this at length. For example, American Airlines was a problematic one because we could not get rid of it. Ford Motor Company currently is also a problem because the stock hardly moves. The option chain, as you were able to notice, is extremely limited, because it has basically no depth at all, and because of that it was very difficult for us to do anything about it. And so now, as you can see here, we already managed to bring our average price to a much lower level, but still it's a problem because we don't know how long we will be able to wait. We will have to wait until we can dispose of these shares without realizing a capital loss. And so we had also the same problem with Hims as well, Hims and Hers Health. We also had the same problem with Estee Lauder, of course, with all the bad decisions that I already explained in another video. So because the uncertain nature of the market does not allow us to have much control over how long we will have to carry these shares in our portfolio, and of course many things can happen in between. Sometimes it's necessary for us to basically do whatever we can and take advantage of all the opportunities that we have available to lower the cost basis and then sell them afterwards, at least breaking even. And so this is not possible, as I explained already a few times before. This is not possible to do optimally by selling options. All right, you need to buy shares directly and then sell shares directly in order to have as much control over the holdings that you have and the prices that you buy and the prices that you sell. So in these cases, I'm gonna have to make an exception and basically deviate from the wheel strategy in order to get rid of these problematic holdings. On any other occasion, we will continue to pursue the wheel strategy, but on these specific cases, we cannot afford to do that. And so in order for us to dispose of problematic holdings, we will be allowed to deviate from our main strategy, all right, which is the wheel, and be able to buy and sell shares directly as the market fluctuates over time. This is absolutely key, and I already explained very recently that in the case of Ford Motor Company, given the situation that we had on our hands, if we just resorted to options and basically selling puts in order to buy shares at a lower price, as I already explained, and I think let me see, yeah, here. So in this chart, which is the Ford Motor Company, as I explained previously, and I'm going to zoom in here, here, for example, I think this is the candle that I talked about. As you can see, for example, the stock, and if you recall, I had sold a put with a strike price of 982, which is exactly right here. For this particular week, the week ended on December the 20th, which is here, and as you can see, for a lot of time during the week, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and then on Friday as well, the stock hovered extensively under the 982 strike price, meaning it was in the money and I would be able to buy these shares at 982. However, at the end of the trading day on Friday, so when this option reached maturity, the price just went above the strike. So the put became out of the money. It was not exercised, and I was not able to buy any shares out of this option. And so if this happened, and I would have trusted completely on this particular option to buy shares, I would not have been able to buy any shares, and I would still keep the average price, our cost basis, well above the $11 mark. And as you can imagine, we cannot afford to let go of such an opportunity in which the stocks are, I think I'm fairly confident they are at the support level support price level. We could not afford to let this opportunity go by without buying some shares at this dip to lower our cost basis. This is something that needs to be done really in order to be able to lower the cost basis and eventually get rid of the stocks at least breaking even. And so that is why on these occasions it is paramount to buy them at this dip level, because apparently there is some level of support here, as you can see, even coming back from last year. And yeah, basically, and as you can see from the graph again, it seems that the stock reached this support, right, for the third time over a little bit more than a year, and now the stock apparently bounced back a little bit. And so apparently there is some support in here, and so that there is a very, very compelling reason for us to just go ahead, make the most of this dip in the price and buy as many shares as we can. We cannot afford to wait until a stock, until an option reaches its maturity to buy the shares. All right, and because as you can see, the price can simply go above the strike price, and we end up not buying any shares when we most needed to buy. And so that is why we cannot afford to wait. We have to deviate from the strategy so that we can continue to pursue our strategy of dispose of these problematic holdings and free up capital so that we can use to actually make the most money as possible with the wheel strategy. And so this is something that is really necessary. And I think these are the main changes for us to continue to pursue this challenge. Of course, now I'm gonna be changing the title from now on. This will be 100k realized returns all time, probably, or something like that. But nonetheless, the principles remain the same. It's still a tough challenge because we still be relying on the market, and this requires the same level of skill to be able to pursue the strategy, make the right decisions, and eventually continue to make money out of it. And so this is what I wanted to show you, and this is something that I think, for the sake of transparency, we all needed to be on the same page. As I said, today is December 26th, so on next Saturday we'll reconvene with another video to see how this week 22 of this challenge panned out. For the time being, that is all. Feel free to leave your comments and questions down below. You can also DM me on LinkedIn if you have any questions which you ask directly to me. And of course, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys had a great Christmas period, and of course I hope you are all preparing yourselves for the new year to the year-end festivities. And yeah, I'll see you there next time.